Hey guys, Logger John here, and I am back in my tractor shed here, and it's a glorious day, Saturday. It's around 11 o'clock in the morning, and I'm back here with the Massey 50, and a bit of an update on the Massey 50. So, on the last video, we changed the fuel filter, and we changed the oil in the air bath filter, and I did change the engine oil the day before, and I changed the spark plugs, and I greased it all up. And after that, it still had it still had a bit of a miss in it. It still didn't quite sound right. It was missing and carrying on. So Uncle Billy came over, and he's worked on Massey's tractors all his life, and it was missing. It just wouldn't take in the gas. It sounded like it was missing on a cylinder or something. Anyways, he thought it was in the points. So we changed the points. We changed the condenser in there. We put a new coil right here. We did this morning. And it's got new plug wires. And back here I'll show you, there's the condenser, and there's the points, and we also changed the little rotor that goes on top there. We changed all that, and it still ran like crap. It actually ran worse. So we're like baffled. We're like, what the heck's going on here? So the next thing we thought, well, maybe it's in the carburetor. So Billy played around with the carburetor a little bit. He didn't want to screw with it too much, but anyways, it still ran rough. Ran like it was missing on a cylinder. So I was really baffled. And so brought it back here, drove it around the yard. It was still missing and carrying on. So I'm thinking, okay, what did I do to this? I changed the spark plugs, and I thought, maybe I'll check the spark plugs again. So I took all new spark plugs back out, one at a time, and the first one looked to be okay. The second one, well, anyways, to make a long story short, here are the new spark plugs. And I just got to put my glasses on here. It's hard to see the gappage there. Okay. The gappage. Anyways, the gappage. This one right here. There's no gap hardly. These all have, I didn't check the gappage. Probably should have. My gauge is in my other shed, but this one right here, there's no gap, and this one here is not too good either. So 3 of them were okay, and 2, well, this one's really bad. Put the old spark plugs back in it, and now it's running fine. So just beware when you buy spark plugs. Don't always count on the gap. Just goes to show you gotta be careful. Check your gappage in your spark plugs, but it did need points. Putting points on in the condenser and the new coil definitely didn't hurt it. Billy said the points were getting pretty bad. They were pretty burnt. So I guess with everything, with the coil, the points, the condenser, the little rotor, new spark plugs, which I didn't use. I used, anyways, put the old spark plugs back in, the fuel filter, the oil change, the oil filter, what else? That's about it. So everything total was probably around a couple $100. But the plugs were about $5 each. So I'm gonna take them back and maybe actually one of these are, yeah, that's one of the old ones from a couple years ago. So it's these four here are the new ones. I was going to say my tractor's not 5-cylinder. That's the old one. I kept it from a couple of years ago, at least maybe 3 years ago. These are the new ones. Two are good, two are okay for gappage, and there's one really bad, and the other one's not too good either. So that's just a little tip. Check your spark plugs. And it didn't take long to change all this. Everything, it's got new wires. Some upcoming videos, there's going to be some logging and some wood cutting. Hopefully in the next month or so. There's lots of wood to cut, but it's still lots of time for that. I'm going to wait till the weather cools down a bit. And it's supposed to cool down next week. It's we got a ton of rain here on Wednesday, Thursday. It pretty much rained for 2 days, night and day. I forget how many inches we got. They were calling for anywhere from 2 to 3 inches rain. We probably got at least 2 here. I didn't check and see how much we got, but so it was a much needed rain. Probably could have used the rain like a month ago, but anyways, better late than never. So my lawn is greened right up. I cut some yesterday. My lawn is really nice. All greened up. So with the wood cutting videos coming up, we'll get back into the wood cutting, logging, tractor action, tree cutting action. Hey guys, Logger John back here, and there's a couple things I want to show you right here in my shed. Now this guy that I used to work with, well, he still hangs around the shop sometimes. He's an older gentleman. He's pretty close to 80, I would think. He gave me a bunch of stuff. He's got a whole shed of old stuff. He says you can take whatever you want out of it. So I haven't been through it yet. Well, I looked in there. There's a garden tiller and there's a bunch of stuff, but he gave me some of this stuff here, and it's like, okay, this here, I don't know if you guys recognize any of this. Like I said, I'm just inside my shed here because it's kind of windy out. And it's kind of hard to hear me when it's windy, but all this stuff here is made for a pool table. I guess the guy had an old pool table one time. Special tools to change the ends on the end of the what do you call them, the cues. I don't know too much about pool, but you could change the tips. This here wrench is like to adjust the pool table. I think that's what he said. And there's another box of stuff here. Little sandpaper. And a bunch of little stuff for a pool. All this stuff is for maintaining a pool table and all the stuff that goes with it. It's kind of cool. So he gave me that and this stuff. It's in an old cigar box, a wooden cigar. Well, it's kind of like wood. Yeah, it's wood. Wooden cigar. Look at the name on it. Might be able to get some money for that on the online. The Trump cigar. And there's a bunch of other stuff in here. Now this thing here he gave me is some kind of... there's an old jackknife. Huh. This thing here was for copper pipes to make a flange. He did describe it to me, but that was like a while ago and I forget. And then there's this. Oh, there's two of them. One's already on there. And one's on here. Or I have one here. But it's for copper pipes, like boring out the end, I guess, so you could make a... See that there? I guess you could put different size pipes in here. And this would make a flange on the end. So if anybody's out there can comment on this, because I'm not 100% sure. Other than he said it was for doing that to pipes. It's kind of cool. It's old. You know me, I like old stuff. See, it's got different size holes. And then it's like a... you put the pipe in, the end of the pipe in there, and it would bore it out. So that's kind of cool. So some antique. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this stuff. Maybe display it somewhere. But and I'm going right now. I'm just heading over to the woodshed. There's a few more things in there that he gave me, but yeah, he's got this. Like I said, he's got this old shed out back, and he's moving out in the next little while, and he's just cleaning stuff out and getting rid of everything. So I did take a peek in the shed. There's a lot of old antique tools, and there's a garden tiller and a bunch of other stuff, so I'm going to go check that out one day. He says I can take whatever I want. Okay. I'm kind of getting like Gator. Hey Gator. Now he gave me this thing, which was kind of cool. It's a soldering tool. Homemade. He said his father made it. This, I believe he said, was brass. I think. You heat the end of that up, and then you can solder stuff with it. Pretty heavy. Pretty sure that's what he said his dad made that. So I haven't had a chance. I just stuck it in here. I hadn't had a chance to really look at it. Of course, you all probably recognize these. I have a few pair of these. Sheep shearing scissors. And this was kind of cool. A pipe wrench, a little pipe wrench with a wooden handle. I don't know if I've ever seen a pipe wrench with a wooden handle, but you guys probably, some of you guys probably have. But I like, for some reason, I like old pipe wrenches. I have a few of them now, but none with a wooden handle. And last but not least, he gave me a whole bunch of horseshoes. And these, I have a bunch of horseshoes kicking around, but none of them are this big. Like, these are massive. Look at the size of that horseshoe. He gave me a bunch of those. I'm going to hang up somewhere, and I'm going to probably hang this little pipe wrench up or whatever, but